Hello and thanks for joining us on Nationwide today on the network service of the NTA. I'm Elizabeth Omori. Now let's begin with the presentation of the 2020 budget. President Muhammadu Buhari has presented the 2020 budget to the National Assembly, which is estimated at about 11 trillion naira. Laying the budget before the joint session of the National Assembly for approval, the president said his administration succeeded in reducing inflation in 2019. He noted that government will continue strictly with the implementation of the Treasury single account. Giving a breakdown of the budget, the president said it is a budget of fiscal consideration to strengthen microeconomy and enhance social investment program.
$6 per barrel. Daily oil production of 2.18 million barrels per day, and an exchange rate of 305 naira for American dollar in 2020. Accompanying the 2020 budget proposal is a finance bill for your kind consideration and passage into. This finance bill has 5 strategic objectives in terms of achieving incremental but necessary changes to our fiscal laws. These objectives are: A, promoting fiscal equity by mitigating instances of regressive taxation. B, reforming domestic tax laws to align with global best practices. C, introducing tax incentives for investments in infrastructure and capital markets. D, supporting micro, small, and medium-sized businesses in line with our ease of doing business reforms. And E, raising revenues for government. The draft finance bill proposes an increase of the VAT rate from 5 to 7.5%.
The National Assembly leadership assured President Muhammadu Buhari of quick processing and early passage of the budget for assent. To other economic matters now, the Nigerian government is lowering the VAT to accommodate both local and foreign investors and create a much better business environment. Already, Nigeria is rated among the top 20 developing economies in the United Nations Ease of Doing Business Environment ranking. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports that Vice President Yemi Osinbajo at a plenary session at the 9th Nordic Africa Business Summit in Norway says the federal government is committed to stabilizing the country's economy and viable foreign investment. Now, members of the National Assembly have commended the performance evaluation of the 8th Assembly by the Center for Legislative Engagement. Spokesperson for the 8th Senate, Senator Aliu Abdullahi, described the scorecard as a transparent voice for the National Assembly, which must be replicated in states and local governments. This was discussed on NC's Good Morning Nigeria on the topic scorecard for 8th National Assembly. Ekemini Williams has details.
Understand.
According to the Center for Legislative Engagement Performance Assessment Report, presented by former chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Tahiru Jega, overlapping functions of committees, low representation, and undertaking oversight were the major shortfalls of the 8th National Assembly. Coordinator of the Center, Dr. Ernest Dereke, says the shortfalls were as a result of inadequate human and financial resources.
They realized that if you conduct town hall meetings, for instance, you have to pay transport first for those who are coming. You have to provide entertainments and the rest for those who are coming. We believe that if the National Assembly is able to streamline and trim down the number of committees in line with the little resources available to it for legislation, we'll have better legislation in the country.
In charting a new course of greater successes for the 9th National Assembly, public affairs analyst Dr. Osaweru Okonzua suggests adoption of a mode of governance attuned to the people's peculiarities.
And lawmakers themselves need to position themselves in a way that they will acquire more credibility, because with credibility will come trust, and with trust will come the resources they need to do the work they need to do.
Even our clerks, who are seasoned civil servants, some of them have been there for the past 20 years, 25 years. We even learn from them. They too need to be trained, not legislators alone, because they play a vital role.
The 9th Assembly is advised to pay more attention to quality of bills that are relevant to the needs of the larger society and explore informal strategies of strengthening relationship with the executive to ensure speedy passage of bills and rancor-free governance. In Abuja, Ekemini Williams, NTA News.
Now, the Nigerian government is lowering the VAT to accommodate both local and foreign investors and create a much better business environment. Already, Nigeria is rated among the top 20 developing economies in the United Nations Ease of Doing Business Environment ranking. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports that Vice President Yemi Osinbajo at a plenary session at the 9th Nordic Africa Business Summit in Norway says the federal government is committed to stabilizing the country's economy and viable foreign investments.
The incredible opportunities today for business and trade, and especially with the coming into effect of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. Many of us, of course, are familiar with all of what it took to get us there. We all also recognize that Nigeria is the largest economy by GDP, but also in terms of the market, there is the huge market there, and the prospects for us and our Nordic friends, who of course over the years have proved to be some of our best partners, are clearly immense. So I think we must, begin the sorts of conversations that can, be beneficial to both sides.
An Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed has restated the federal government's determination to provide the necessary incentives that will make the creative industry a key player for development. The minister stated this on the sidelines of the ongoing 25th Nigerian Economic Summit in Abuja. Anthony Forson reports.
Collection of familiar faces in the industry, tagged Creative Industry Breakfast Meeting. It is designed to discuss a wide range of issues that borders on opportunities and constraints in the music, film, and fashion industry. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed, who chaired the session, is of the opinion that practitioners must make demands and ask for an enabling environment to excel, given their enormous potentials to contribute to national growth and development.
Government wants something organic. They want to be part of resolving the problems, and therefore there is a need for this private-public dialogue. This would lead to policy formulation. From there it will lead to legislation, and then all the parties will be quite clear. And I think we are going to work with the NESG and all the other stakeholders, because the thing about the creative industry is that there are too many people involved. We talked about, digital platform today, that's Ministry of Communication. We talked about, intellectual property, that's Ministry of Justice. We spoke today about financing, that will include CBN, Bankers Committee. We talked about culture, that will be Ministry of Professional and Culture. There will be so many different sectors, but we all need to work together to move that industry forward.
With Nigeria's economic prosperity depending on strategically identified sectors with competitive advantage, a solid foundation for its growth lies within the policy framework put in place. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
To other matters now, the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations has outlined modalities towards supporting the course of education in Nigeria with a planned inauguration of an ICT training model to enhance the capacity of communication arts undergraduates to undertake research. Chairman of the 2019 Annual General Conference, Franklin Ginger Akers, said this while presenting plans to expose the university students to practical digital experience with current advancement in the education sector and the role of technology in enhancing access to knowledge acquisition. The NIPR believes that working with Microsoft would empower undergraduates with much needed digital tools on the forthcoming AGM of the Institute. FCT Chairman of the NIPR, Dr. Tayo Hastrop, said the conference would set agenda for national discourse and leadership. This is Nationwide on NTA. Time now to link up with Dotun in Lagos for more reports. Hello, Dotun.
Hello, Elizabeth, and welcome to Lagos. In continuation of its determination to rid the nation's maritime domain of all criminal elements, personnel of the Western Naval Command of the Nigerian Navy embarked on its second biannual sea exercise codenamed Ategun Alafia. Adeola Mokive reports that the exercise is one of the strategies of the command to equip its personnel to boost economic prosperity of the nation.
Criminal activities within the Nigerian maritime domain has over the years created tension amongst shippers and other key players who conduct legitimate businesses within the nation's coastal lines. This has made the Nigerian Navy to be a step ahead of the sea criminals. The Western Naval Command Area of Responsibility, which covers the sea and coastal areas from the Nigeria-Benin border to the limit of the nation's exclusive economic zone, during the second biennial sea exercise patrolled operating bases at Igbokoda and Badagry with 5 capital ships and 11 boats. The exercise saw the officers simulating different situations like encountering vessels engaged in illegal activities, firing at targets, vertical replenishment and medical evacuation in critical circumstance, as well as man and chair from assigned forces for the principal ship.
Ships are in classes. If you have logistic ships and you want to escort them, there are formations you take in such a way that if there are attacks, the one that you call them pickets will be ahead to ward off. They are part of the naval traditions.
Flag Officer Commanding Rear Admiral Oladele Daji says the exercise has largely achieved its desired aims and objectives.
Generally, give confidence to seafarer within the Western Naval Command area of operation, area of responsibility, to let them know that the seas are safe and secure for them to carry out their legitimate activities.
For the Nigerian Navy, the operational readiness of her officers and men is paramount, hence the exercise Ategun Alafia, which literally means calm wind. In Lagos, Adeola Omokivi, NTA News.
Nigerians have been charged to use the national rich cultural heritage to promote peace and unity in the country. Reverend Father Simon Agubieze gave the admonition at the 2019 St. Charles Borromeo Catholic Church Annual Cultural Thanksgiving in Lagos. Diana Jale reports.
This sets the tone for the celebration of the nation's diverse cultural heritage by the worshippers of St. Charles Borromeo Catholic Church in Lagos. Various traditional attire were displayed by representatives from the 6 geopolitical zones of the country at the cultural Thanksgiving service. Reverend Father Simeon Agbeze admonished Christians and Nigerians at large to be patriotic and promote none of their beliefs.
Dear sisters and brothers, what Christ is expecting from me is just total trust in Him. Whether you are Igbo, whether you are Yoruba, whether you are Hausa, the idea is that in this harvest that now makes our culture, our united cultures, a culture of faith, we will begin to build a better country.
The peace, one Nigeria, and that's what we have shown. One Nigeria, one unity, up Nigeria.
For the spirit of bonding, I'm thanking God that we are from our different states.
We'll continually pass it on, to every generation. Other cultures will come, but we should only take the good things from those cultures.
The annual cultural Thanksgiving service is to create more awareness on the need for Nigerians to tap their cultural diversity to enhance peaceful coexistence. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
And that's our contribution from Lagos. Nationwide continues after the break. Do stay with us.
Let's come together as we celebrate the uniqueness of our cultural diversity, showcase our creativity and ingenuity. It's the National Festival for Arts and Culture, NAFEST 2019, in the ancient city of Benin, Edo State, the heartbeat of the nation. Theme, our reality, our pride. Holding 19th through 26th October 2019. Highlights will include drama, children poetry performance, essay writing competition, crafts competition, indigenous cuisine, traditional wrestling, indigenous fabrics in royal apparel, cultural quiz competition, board games, and lots more. Oh yes, it's the National Festival of Arts and Culture, NAFEST 2019, Edo State, Nigeria, holding 19th to 26th October 2019. We are celebrating our heritage. Tumba Olusegun Runshewe, Director General, National Council for Arts and Culture, announcer.
Harnessing Nigeria's gas for sustainable wealth creation instead of flaring is the focus this week on NTA Tuesday Live. Program Tuesday Live every Tuesday is educative and incisive. Don't miss it.
The new edition of TV Guide is out, exclusively taking a look at the traditional television and new media. Are they comparable or complementary? Media industry players give perspective on the trends, progress, challenges, and the way forward. Find out on this compelling edition of TV Guide. Expository interviews with stars of the team within our space. Becky Madojemo of NTA, Tibe Umore of AIT, Nifemi Oguntai of TVC, and a host of others. TV Guide, your indispensable companion, also feature Iya Medina. A TV drama series on NTA. Let's get to meet the characters behind Iya Medina. This edition also presents exciting features on tourism, culture, entertainment, sports, health, and lots more. Grab a copy at the vendors near you or any NTA station nationwide. TV Guide, your indispensable companion.
Their ancestors were taken away as slaves. Now they return as kings and queens on a pilgrimage back to the motherland. The third door of return ceremony, Diaspora Festival, Badagry, Lagos, Nigeria, takes place in Badagry from the 15th to the 20th of October 2019. For details on participation and sponsorship, contact the following. Website adore.ng. The African Door of Return Experience. Don't miss it. Brought to you by the African Door of Return Experience Initiative in collaboration with the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission and the African Renaissance Foundation. Chief host, the Lagos State Government.
Glad to know you're still there. Now let's talk security. 15 persons have been rescued by troops of 7 Division Garrison in conjunction with Sector 1, Operation Lafia Dole, and that of the Nigerian Army Super Camp 1, while conducting clearance operation along Goni, Gambumi, Kadamari, Melim, Gondori and Jimtilo, who were wandering in the bush trying to link up with communities. A statement by the Nigerian Army Operations Media Coordinator Colonel Aminu Ilyasu indicates that troops of 82 Division Task Force Battalion in Borno State also rescued 12 persons on the 5th of October. The statement adds that troops deployed to Jimtilo and Dalori in Borno State had, while conducting Operation Positive Identification, arrested 9 suspects in Maino. And still on security, Borno State government has released 137 persons received from Operation Safe Corridor in Gombe to their respective local government council chairmen to relocate and unite them with their families. The presentation was performed at a rehabilitation center in Maiduguri. Naomi Abuako reports.
Rehabilitation for over 2 years, the 137 persons are in the process of reintegration into the civil society to live normal lives. Zuwera Gambo, while presenting the young men to their various local council chairmen, delivered the message of Governor Babagana Umar Zulum, where he admonished them to be law-abiding and make use of the skills acquired during their stay in the rehabilitation center. They were presented with relief materials such as food and non-food items to meet their immediate needs. Each person also went away with skill acquisition materials in addition to a token amount, among others. Their families and well-wishers, on the other hand, were on ground to unite with the released persons, having been away for this long. They were grouped according to their local government areas, with Bama alone having 53, Damboa 28, Kondega 25, Mafa 10, Goza 8, and Maiduguri Metropolitan Council 1. Others are Dikwa 3, Biu 2, Mangunu 1, Gala 1, and Kukawa 3. In Maiduguri, Naomi Aboku, NTA News.
Let's now shift attention to technology. Nigeria has continued to assert its burdened digital prowess with 2 of its innovations reaching semi-finals as the country shares plans for 5G mobile network at the ongoing GITEX 2019 platform. Najato Tijani tells us more.
Statistics show that 77% of devices already feature AI in some form or the other, and experts say its presence in our lives will keep increasing. Mobile phone users are already familiar with AI on their devices through various apps which respond to voice. However, current tech trends are leaning towards fusing artificial intelligence with robotics to provide easy access to a wide range of services, including health, education, and business. Meet Alexa, a virtual assistant developed by Amazon, but now fused with a robot for use in the health and hospitality sectors. You can ask Alexa to turn lights on and off. Today, I decided to ask her the weather in Lagos. Alexa, what's the weather in Nigeria?
Currently, in Lagos, Nigeria, 76 degrees Fahrenheit with thunderstorms and mostly cloudy skies. Today, you can expect some sun and thunderstorms, with a high of 76 degrees and a low of 66 degrees.
Alexa is just one of the hundreds of AI technologies at GITEX. Another area is robotics.
We make robotic low-cost prosthetic devices for the people with amputation. He's a pet robot, a very soft skin, a very warm body, just like pets. And he can do animal therapy in the hospital.
There is also Mitra from an Indian company which collects data from users to anticipate products and services which the user might require. Key players in the industry say Nigeria can compete favorably with these technologies.
About 10 startups to this exhibition. 2 out of the 10 have participated in the semi-final pitching. So this shows that our startups have innovative ideas, and they have ideas that can impact life globally, not only within Nigeria.
This mindset tallies with the popular slogan here at GITEX, which says, "The future is now." Najatu Tijani, NTA News.
Thank you so much, Adatu. From technology, we now move to the environment. Full implementation of the federal government's target of planting 25 million trees annually in Nigeria is to begin with the Forestry Association of Nigeria. Minister of Environment stated this at an event in Abuja. Mia Ogidi reports.
Abuja City in Nigeria ranked high in tree planting and horticulture. In this city, planting of trees in residential areas is a requirement for the approval of building plans. But the story in neighboring Lokoja, Kogi State, just a few kilometers away from Abuja, is different. Bad environment. Apart from mitigating climate change, trees, when properly utilized and given the best finishing, can be money spinner.
Yeah, they are made with wood naturally. This one I go for 350,000.
Those in the wood industry, the furniture makers, everybody has to come to have one voice. We are looking at sustainability goals. What are we going to do about that? It's all about policy.
Nigeria Forest Reserve is less than 5% as against the United Nations 25% benchmark. In the just concluded United Nations General Assembly Summit on Climate Change, Nigeria outlined quite a number of targets, including the planting of 25 million trees annually. So, the Forest Association of Nigeria, in its 41st conference in Abuja, is widening its tentacles for the realization of this goal, which also in agreement with Goal 16 of the SDGs.
Take at least 10 hectares for each local government to be planting of trees.
Because they will be part of this planting of trees. We intend to bring everybody on board, especially the youth.
Beyond the practicals, academic exercises will also be carried out by these environmentalists to ensure best afforestation practices in Nigeria. Mia Ogidi, NT News.
And for more reports on Nationwide, let's join July in our Kaduna Network Center for more reports. Hello.
Good evening and welcome to Kaduna. The Nigerian Army is set to reconstruct the collapsed Dogon Dewa Bridge linking Birnin Gwari in Kaduna State to neighboring states of the Northwest. Suleiman Gachkum reports.
It was a dreaded zone. The forests around the axis harbored bandits, cattle rustlers, and suspected kidnappers who terrorized Birnin Gwari and environs some time ago. The collapse of the bridge that linked Dogon Dawa, Kaduna State, with neighboring communities in Zamfara and Kaduna State did not help matters.
It was in the night during rain season. We just woke up in the morning. We saw the bridge destroyed completely.
This road has been a road that has been causing a lot of problems to the community.
Now, the army has busted the forest and is reconstructing the bridge. The reconstruction of the 18 meters bridge by the Army, General Officer Commanding 1 Division Nigerian Army, Major General Farouk Ehari, says is to promote civil-military relations.
And we continue to be responsible members of every society, every area we operate.
We also intend to mobilize materials and men from the surrounding communities so that the benefit of the project will cascade to the people around here.
The army is doing a lot and we are grateful to them.
The project is expected to be completed in 8 months. In Kaduna, I am Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachkun, NTA News.
The federal government is calling on Nigerians to own the ongoing fight against corruption as the only way to save the country of its negative effect on the socio-economic development of the nation. This was the thrust of discussion at the inauguration of Jigawa State Anti-Corruption Society by the Independent Corrupt Practices Commission in Dutse. Mansur Aliyu Hassan has details.
I will be faithful and bear true allegiance.
With this inauguration, this set of Nigerians have volunteered to join in the crusade against a disease hindering Nigeria's growth called corruption. They are members of Jigawa State Community for Peace and Corruption-Free Society, a representative of the Independent Corrupt Practices Commission (ICPC), urge Nigerians, especially the younger ones as future leaders, to take a lead in this fight against corruption.
Fairly address grand corruption associated with social welfare sector which are impacting negatively on the lives of ordinary Nigerians.
Members of the society are expected to instill other Nigerians how to track down corruption tendencies in Jigawa State and the nation at large. From Dutse, Mansur Aliyu Hassan, NTA News.
That's our bit from here. It's back to Elizabeth in Abuja for more on Nationwide.
Thank you so much. Now let's shift our attention to the judiciary. The governorship election petition tribunal in Makurdi has upheld the victory of the Benue State Governor Samuel Otom of the People's Democratic Party. Tema Umar reports that the tribunal dismissed the petition of the All Progressives Congress governorship candidate Mr. Emmanuel Jimmy for lacking in merit.
9-hour judgment read by the tribunal chairman, Justice Henry Oluseyi. The tribunal held that the petitioner failed to prove cases of overvoting, rigging, and non-compliance with the electoral guidelines. The tribunal held that the petitioner's witness statements were contradictory, unreliable, and not credible. Justice Oluseyi also frowned at the petitioner's action, who dumped documents on the tribunal without leading them in evidence. Justice Henry Oluseyi dismissed the petition for being incompetent and lacking in merit.
The petitioners complained in hundreds of polling units. They called on only 31 polling unit agents. The law is well settled that you can't do that. And it's a judgment that is well deserved. This victory came to us and was given to us freely by the people of Benue State. And we are going to test the efficacy of this judgment at the appeal court.
The petitioner, Mr. Emmanuel Jimmy, had approached the tribunal challenging the March 23 elections over alleged irregularities and malpractices. He had called 59 persons as witnesses in his case. NTA News.
Nigeria Immigration Service on Natural Board. These are the stories as we join the Barbary in our Port Harcourt studio. Over to the Barbary.
Elizabeth, and welcome to Port Harcourt. Party faithful and loyalists of Governor Nyesom Wike besieged the Government House, Port Harcourt, to celebrate the verdict of the Governorship Election Tribunal, which affirmed his victory at the March 2019 polls. Ogedi Yekre brings us the mood that trailed the victory at the River State Government House.
As early as noon Saturday, the supporters have started gathering around Government House for the outcome in anticipation of the tribunal verdict. When was filtered in that the petitions of Biopo Mamba, Awara of the AAC and Victor Fingesi of ADP have been dismissed by the tribunal, the crowd started trooping into the Government House. Not long after, the governor's legal team drove in. An elated Governor Wike thanked the lawyers for a job well done.
I'm so impressed with my legal team. They are so passionate. I don't know how to thank all of you.
Head Governor's legal team, Ahmed Raji SAN, said the judgment was soundly delivered.
The two cases, the most profound thing found there is that they did not prove anything. All the witnesses in both cases discredited. So much so that the tribunal held that there was no need for us to defend anything.
PDP National Chairman Prince Uche Secondus commended the judiciary for upholding the rule of law. Governor Wike went straight to the Government House Chapel of Everlasting Grace for Thanksgiving, where he read the only lesson from the Bible book of Psalm. In his sermon, Reverend Ogambari stated that appreciating God in thanksgiving means understanding the basis of our relationship with Him. NTA News.
The Nigerian Navy Forward Operation Base Formosu has arrested 49 Nigerian and 3 Ghanaian suspects for illegal encroachment into the restricted fishing zone of 5 nautical miles from Brasswater. The suspects, alongside their fishing trawlers, were handed over to the Federal Department of Fisheries and Aquaculture for further investigation and possible prosecution. Kingsley Amaju reports.
Officials of the Nigerian Navy Forward Operation Base Formosho tracked down suspects in its campaign against illicit activities within the maritime environment under its area of responsibility. They were accused of fishing within 5 nautical miles of the Brasswater, an area restricted from such activities.
These laws are well known to the fishing companies. But right now, when the Federal Department of Fisheries begin to apply sanctions, I believe these situations that we've been seeing lately would definitely come to an end. It would stop.
Head of Monitoring, Control and Surveillance, Federal Department of Fishery and Aquaculture, Bobola Babatunde, noted that the government might withdraw the license of offending companies to serve as deterrent to others.
There's going to be a stakeholders meeting. We are going to trash out so many issues.
The latest arrest comes barely a few weeks after the Nigerian Navy arrested 2 fishing trawlers for similar offense. Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
The Nigerian Army 6th Division Port Harcourt has taken delivery of a reconstructed building and lawn tennis court donated by a philanthropist, Uchenna Okafor. GOC 6th Division Jamil Saham said the project will significantly improve the welfare of its personnel. Diantkome Ololo covered the inauguration projects.
The lawn tennis court and reconstructed building, which comprises 40 self-contained rooms for corporals and other junior officers, will change the accommodation and sports facility deficit in the barracks. GOC 6th Division Nigeria Army Major General Jamil Saram thanked the donor and stressed the need for officers to utilize the facility as they remain resolute and steadfast in tackling the security challenges confronting the country.
For those who have remembered the foundation laying of this project, it was carried out a few months ago and today it has come to fruition. These level projects were conceived, funded and executed by philanthropists by excellence. Sir Okafor, you are indeed one in a million.
Inaugurating the projects, the sponsor, Ikenna Okafor, stressed the need to support the soldiers for effective discharge of their duties.
All of us need security to be able to operate, and I felt a little contribution to the army will help them improve their morale to do their work better.
The event also featured groundbreaking of a recreational center in Port Harcourt. Diantkome Ololo, NTA News.
And that's all be it from Port Harcourt. Nationwide continues shortly. Good evening.
Get ready to be motivated. The Motivator Challenge is back. Bigger, better, and bold. Now featuring 30 contestants from 5 African countries, all grabbing that multi-Guinness B vitamin goodness that fuels your greatness. Ghana, Nigeria, Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, and Ethiopia. Which country will claim the $20,000 grand prize? Brought to you by Malta Guinness. Packed with B vitamins to fuel your greatness.
The NTA ETV Annual Expo is here again. This time, it's the 13th edition with the theme Promoting Unity and Innovations in Youths as Agents of Change through Science and Arts. It promises to be captivating as youths across the nation showcase their unique skills and innovations in science and arts, make new friends, and showcase their rich cultural heritage. Join us at the NTA Headquarters Arena, Area 11, Garki, Abuja from Sunday 20th October to Thursday 24th October 2019. For more information, participation, and sponsorship, please call these numbers. ETV, promoting learning.
These days, people get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. Some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, stir disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, ask yourself, is it real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous. Whether you do it for fun or for political gains, real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it.
This is a public service announcement from NTA. When you hear that sound, you know that Nigeria's most authentic newscast is about to begin. NTA Network News, breaking the news for over 40 years.
Thanks for staying with us. Now to road safety. Human error forms a huge part of road transportation problems in Nigeria. Corps Marshal Federal Safety Corps Boboye Oyeyemi, who presented these statistics, said the focus now is continuous orientation for drivers. Oyeyemi Ajayi has details.
From October 2017 to March 2018, it's just 4 months, but Nigeria lost 2,598 people to road crashes. A healthy chunk of productive Nigerians needlessly wasted in avoidable road mishaps. While commercial buses recorded the highest casualties, trucks and lorries recorded the second highest fatalities, with 833 deaths in the month under review. Corps Marshal FRSC Boboye Oyeyemi, in the meeting with truck drivers in Kogi State, says the sad commentary stems from failure in simple maintenance of trucks. The herdsmen also queried the mindset of drivers who insist on speed and alcohol over safety.
You must have a drug testing unit in your facility so that the driver can be tested.
All of you here to always see the road safety as our partner and as our friend.
The FRSC says it is embarking on more campaigns and sensitization, but proceeds that road safety is everybody's business, as the statistics clearly shows the huge toll road crashes have on the family, group, and society at large. Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
From road safety, we now move to agriculture. Minister of Agriculture Mohammed Sabo Nanono says Nigeria is blessed with great opportunities that can be explored if they tap into farming. He made this known when he visited Napre in Zaria, Kaduna State.
Its livestock production contributes about 17% to Nigeria's gross domestic product and more than 30 trillion naira in national assets. There is the need to develop the sector using modern methods in addition to curbing farmers' headers clashes through the National Livestock Transformation Plan. The minister's visit to the National Animal Production Research Institute, Zaria, is to assess the capability of the institute to build capacity for a smooth takeoff and running of the transformation plan.
Foreign investment is also coming into this country in a big way. There are opportunities that are going to be created in this. In one way or the other, it will affect you. Laboratory equipment for the artificial insemination unit and the building of the liquid nitrogen plant has already been completed.
The Executive Director, Institute for Agricultural Research, and that of National Agricultural Extension Research Liaison Services were not left out. In Zaria, Tina Toro, NTA News.
Now, with Nigeria entering the second cycle membership of the Open Government Partnership, the Chief Executive Officer of the initiative, Sanjay Pradhan, says the country stands to benefit not only domestically but equally internationally if the second National Action Plan is implemented credibly.
Partnership is a multilateral initiative that aims to secure commitments from national and sub-national governments to promote good governance through citizen participation. The initiative is made up of 14 commitments around 4 thematic areas such as fiscal transparency, anti-corruption, access to information, and citizen engagement. Nigeria joined the initiative in July 2016 when President Buhari attended the Anti-Corruption Summit in London, with Nigeria being the 70th country to join. The Open Government Partnership has 79 countries. That brings the global presentation of the initiative to more than 2 billion people. Having successfully completed the first National Action Plan in June 2019, with improvement in so many areas such as open budget, tax transparency, anti-corruption crusade, open contracting, and many more. Nigeria has submitted its second National Action Plan for technical review and feedback. This necessitated the visit by the delegates led by the Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Sanjay Pradhan, an Indian, to engage political leaders and stakeholders on the implementation process.
20 OGP countries are implementing beneficial ownership transparency. If Nigeria could be one of the first to credibly implement it and pass the bill, which almost got there but didn't get the signature, or in open contracting, where you have Nocopo, which is the platform that has been built but is not really being used as much. If you could really populate it and everyone would use it, you would actually feel, citizens would feel, look, all contracts are really open. Right? So, and then you would have an open leadership position. You could run for the chair of the Open Government Partnership.
Under the anti-corruption commitment, the federal government has approved the harmonized national anti-corruption strategy.
With 13 states in Nigeria signing onto the Open Government Partnership, the delegation is visiting Kaduna State as a member of the Initiative Local Program.
You're still watching Nationwide on NTA. Let's take a breather. We'll be right back.
Let's come together as we celebrate the uniqueness of our cultural diversity, showcase our creativity and ingenuity. It's the National Festival of Arts and Culture, NAFEST 2019, in the ancient city of Benin, Edo State, the heartbeat of the nation. Theme, our royalty, our pride. Hold 19th to 26th October 2019. Highlights will include drama, children poetry performance, essay writing competition, crafts competition, indigenous cuisine, traditional wrestling, indigenous fabrics in royal apparel, cultural quiz competition, board games, and lots more. Oh yes, it's the National Festival of Arts and Culture, NAFEST 2019, Edo State, Nigeria, holding 19th to 26th October 2019. We are celebrating our heritage. Otumba Olusegun Runshiwe, Director General, National Council for Arts and Culture, Announcer.
Harnessing Nigeria's gas for sustainable wealth creation instead of flaring is the focus this week on NTA Tuesday Live. The program Tuesday Live every Tuesday is educative and incisive. Don't miss it.
The new edition of TV Guide is out. Exclusive look at traditional television and new media. Are they comparable or complementary? Media industry players give perspective on the trends, progress, challenges, and the way forward. Find out on this compelling edition of TV Guide. Expository interviews with stars of the team within our space. Becky Madojemo of NTA, Dale Mori of AIT, Ifemi Oguntai of TVC, and the host brother. TV Guide, your indispensable companion. Also feature Yadina. A TV drama series on NTA. Let's to meet the characters behind Iyamadina. This edition also presents exciting features on tourism, culture, entertainment, sports, health, and lots more. Grab a copy at the vendors near you or any NTA station nationwide. TV Guide, your indispensable companion.
Ancestors were taken away as slaves. Now they return as kings and queens on a pilgrimage back to the motherland. The third return ceremony, Diaspora Festival Badagry, Lagos, Nigeria, takes place in Badagry from the 15th to the 20th of October 2019. For details on participation and sponsorship, contact the following. Website adore.ng. The African Doll Return Experience. Don't miss it. Brought to you by the African Doll Return Experience Initiative in collaboration with Nigerians in Diaspora Commission and the African Renaissance Foundation. Chief host, the Lagos State Government.
Thanks for staying with us. Now to sports. Reactions continue to trail Super Falcons' non-qualification for Tokyo 2020 Olympics. Details and more on Sports Update with Kene Imabuke.
A further reaction is trailed the inability of Nigeria's Super Falcons to progress in CAF qualification series for Tokyo 2020 Olympics women's football event after a 1-1 aggregate draw with Cote d'Ivoire in the second leg third round decided at the Agege Township Stadium in Lagos Monday.
They should be able to go down and sit and think and ask themselves why this thing is happening like this, because this is not the first time. They are the giants of Africa in female football. In fact, it's disappointing to see a country like Ivory Coast will now stop us from going to Tokyo 2020 Olympics. It's unheard of.
Meanwhile, Youth and Sports Development Minister Sunday Dare says there will be an investigation to unravel the root cause of Super Falcons' non-qualification for the Olympics after their last appearance in Beijing 2008.
We're going to ask the very difficult questions, not just from the handlers, but also from the federation, also from the players. We must get a feedback so that we can start rebuilding not just the team alone, but also the coaching crew.
After a below-par performance at the 2019 IAAF World Championships in Doha, where long jumper Esa Brume won Nigeria's solitary bronze medal, the Nigeria Olympic Committee at a meeting on Tuesday in Abuja wrote with a resolution to tackle indiscipline among athletes.
This issue of indiscipline, this issue of performance, we are going to look at it critically, and we're going to come out with a resolution which will be announced to the whole public.
Nigeria placed 31st on the medal table among the 214 nations which participated in the biennial championships. With Sports Update, Kenen Ima Aburike, NTA News.
And before we go, let's take a look at the weather picture.